Unataka kumuuliza, it is okay. So unani highlight tu alafu unaweza muuliza swali. Good. It is a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Colin Sambai, and this is the Arena Show on North Rift News. Remember, this is a platform where we give our politicians, newsmakers, and key figures, we give them the voice. And to you, the citizens, we give you the perspective. You get to have your own understanding on what is going on, what they are planning to do, and what they have done. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be having a very special kind of an interview. We have the student leaders from different universities, different colleges with us, and we are going to be discussing about the impact of the young people in the current politics. We are also going to talk about the student funding model, which attracted a lot of debate, which was launched by the president. The changes was launched by the president on May 2023, right? So without taking so much ado, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this great opportunity to welcome our guest today. Karibuni sana. How are you feeling? Mko salama?
Yes.
So hii ni station tu ya nyumbani ambayo tunaweza kupata nafasi kupiga story, tujue pia nyinyi wanafunzi. What is the impact? What are your expectation as far as 2027 politics is concerned? So before we take so much time, I want to give each and every one of you time to introduce yourself. You are going to say the school you represent, the position you hold in the school, and also where you come from, because I guess we all come from different areas. So let us just begin from the gentleman right there.
Thank you. My name is Kipkemei Godfrey from Catholic University of East Africa. Currently, I'm the Nandi Student Association Attorney General. Thank you.
Asante sana. Karibu kwenye show.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Emmanuel Korir. I am the President, University of Eastern Africa, Baraton in Nandi County. But personally, I come from the great sub-county of Kapseret. Thank you.
Asante sana. Welcome to the show.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening once again.
Good evening.
So my name is Gideon Kosgei. I come from Tinderet. I'm the student president Koitalel Samoei University, as well as Speaker and Youth Assembly. And I would really want to take this juncture once again to, I know there are those who are watching. Of late, I think 2 days ago, the KUCCPS done their placement, and there are those who are placed to Koitalel Samoei University. So I want to take this chance to tell you, welcome to Koitalel Samoei University, a university that welcomes everybody. It is a university based on academics, and at the end of it all, you're going to meet the dreams that you've always been dreaming to reality. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Faith Ngetun. I come from Baringo County, Mogotio constituency, Kisanana ward. I'm a student in Great University of Eldoret, currently serving as a Congress School of Education, and not only a Congress, but the best female Congress elect. Thank you so much, and I want to welcome those who are placed in University of Eldoret. Welcome so much.
Karibu sana Faith. Umesema the best Congress, the best lady. Sawa sawa. Karibu sana kwenye show.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Kimutai Lavin Bet, currently serving as the president of the best polytechnic currently in Kenya, the second best polytechnic in Africa. That's the Great Eldoret National Polytechnic. I'm from the Great County, that's the Great Nandi County, Mgwen constituency, Kilibwani ward. Also, I would like to welcome those students who are placed in Eldoret National Polytechnic. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I go by the name Edward Ochieng Tobias. Wengi wananijua kama Eddie. First, I'm much excited and extremely privileged to be part of this academia team. which has a bright future for our institutions through transition and transformation to all institutions. It's my privilege to be part of this academia team. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My name is Hilary Kiblagat. I'm from the University of Nairobi. I've had my fellow colleagues saying best, but I'm from that university, the great University of Nairobi. Again, I'm from Chepkumia Ward, Nandi County, Mkwen constituency. And I want to take this juncture also to welcome those students who are placed in the University of Nairobi. Feel welcome so much. Thank you.
Asanteni sana and karibuni pia kwenye show. So feel at home. We are going to engage. We look forward to engaging with you. I hope we'll have a very fair and very interesting conversation. Just as we start, nimesikia mmesema placement was done. Mtu tu anaweza tuambia, how was the placement done? Was it fair? And do you feel most parents are comfortable with what happened?
Okay, maybe to answer the question that you really asked, it's a good question. So to my point of view, I would just say that placement done is free and fair, because whenever you find the KUCCPS doing the placements, they do as per the selections that the students have selected, those who maybe did their KCSE some years or months ago. So, but now the problems comes in that when you find the placement, you find some are really, maybe those who are complaining that they really want to change the state, or maybe they are being called to university that, during placement, we have got number of selections. You can select based on the interest, that where you want to go, based on your feeling and everything. So you might find yourself doing a selection of one university, Nairobi University, and these other universities. Of course, we've got a number of universities and any other a number of institutions within our country. But the problems comes in here now that your parents have now came to reality and considered the fact of budget issues, the fact of cost of living and everything. Is when now they would always find they want to relocate you from that university that you've been called. Maybe you've been placed to one university. Always want you to place you at maybe, let's say if you come from Nandi County, they would always want to get the nearby universities like Koitalel, Eldoret, and any other university surrounding your place. So generally, my answer is the KUCCPS, we can't blame them. They do them in a fair and free, because whatsoever you're being called or whatever you place in, it is where you are being, you had already selected. So I don't really feel that there is maybe issues to do with maybe they are doing some errors and whatsoever. It's always right and fair for them to place you there. So it only comes in when we consider a number of issues, is when now we want to really misplace the selection and really choose other universities apart from which that we felt we've been called. That is the thing.
Yes, Faith.
Okay, to add on that, I'm very sure that the placement was very fair and free. When you come to University of Eldoret, 6,600 and something students were placed there. And I heard that there is a student from Kapsabet Girls who she had 80 something points and was placed in University of Eldoret. So I can assure you that the placement was very free and fair, because University of Eldoret can place a student from Nairobi University, Nairobi Kenya High. You can get a student from Sacho High School, Kapsabet Girls High School. So it is very free and fair. And also you can get a student from day school being placed in Nairobi University. And that is what I can attest from my village mates. Thank you.
Okay, asanteni sana. Are we still having cases whereby a student has been placed to do a certain course that he or she did not apply? Ama lazima mtu, unajua we have had ilikuwa nimeona complaints, watu wanasema, for example, somebody wanted to do a course maybe in engineering, anapata amewekwa afanye education. Are we still having such cases?
Okay, talking on the side of the TVETs, the main challenge we face from the COOPs is that someone, let's say for example, you are being placed to pursue civil engineering and technology at Eldoret National Polytechnic, but where diversity comes from is that the qualification from COOPs are different and compared to that of the institution. But I think this time there was some improvement because of some engagements so that the things can comply. That
So you mean some qualification can be higher on the COOPS portal compared to what is required in the school?
Yes, for COOPS, it's a bit lower compared to that of our institution.
Okay. Anybody else?
To add on what he said, and I'll link this to TVETs and those students maybe who are not placed universities, maybe those who scored below C+. I have a friend who she had a C minus. That was last year. So this girl applies for TTC for quite a number of schools, but apparently she wasn't placed anywhere. So she waits for the second selection. She does so, but apparently also she got no placement. So she had to wait because you understand the situations pale kwa ground. Somebody may not be able to maybe afford to study privately. So I think this year, around January somewhere there is when she applied again through the COOPS, a different course. That's when she was placed. After that long time shoot. So this girl wasted a whole year trying to find placement using the same KUC CPS. So you find it's a challenge. I don't know how that can be addressed because I'm sure she's not the only one. I'm very sure there are very many Kenyan students who are facing the same challenge.
Okay, asante sana. Thank you so much. What are some of the suggestions that you suggest you can make to the COOPS people? Suggestions that you wish they could change, either on their portal or how they handle the students who are applying for these placements. Anybody? Suggestions tu ile mnaona COOPS wakibadilisha mambo itakuwa mzuri na ita encourage watu kuapply hizi ma courses and pia universities.
Okay, with time now, we're realizing that even the system of education is changing. We have got the new model of education, that is CPE, from the 844 system, where somebody could be chosen according to the grade that he has scored. If you've just scored from A to maybe B, C+, and the cutting point was always C+. So when you go to university, you go and choose whichever the course that you really want. And now the system is changing. So I think they only have two years. So with 2 years to eradicate the errors, but now chipping into a new system. CP is much of centered to a learner. What is it that you are based on? What is it that you can do? Because currently when you see this institution like high school level, people are doing things in a different way. We have got those who are doing STEM, that is much of sciences. We have got those who are doing the other part of it. So those who are doing the STEM, you'd always find these are people who are much interested to joining courses like engineering, joining courses like pilot and any other. So it will be easy for CUSIPs when they are placing these people according to their point of interest and according to what they really need to do or to pursue in the next level of academic after the high school. So I really find that CUSIPs only have only burden maybe for these 2 years. And after these 2 years is when now we chip into that new model of education, the CPE system. So CPE system is nurtured to a student, not now on what the government really feels somebody can do. So you go as per your own feeling that this is what I want to do. That is it.
Okay, yes.
Okay, to add on that, I can't only blame the COOPs placing or giving the students the courses that they have not applied. I want to urge all the students who want to apply for the various courses to be straightforward. You can find someone applying for medicine and yet he has not even, is not approaching. So all the students should choose the courses that they have qualified and to be straightforward. If you want to do education, do education. If you want to do medicine, do medicine. Don't come to regret and blame the COOPs. Thank you.
Okay, to add on what she has said, I think what the COOPs should improve on is something like civic education. they visit institutions, the high school, then let these learners know the qualification and the procedures to be followed. So the main thing is just civic education. Thank you.
Sawa sawa, asanteni sana. I just want us, because of time, to move on to the next, which is the student funding model. So the changes signed by the President William Ruto in 2023 were mainly focused on refining and addressing the complaints that had been raised by most of either the students or the parents. So what is your thinking on the student funding model? Is it fair? Ama kwa maoni yako tu, we unaona aje the student funding model? Yes, my brother.
Thank you. Again, my name is Emmanuel Korir, President, Baraton University. So according to the new funding model, on paper, that model is perfect, very perfect. Because when the president comes up with this model and his team, he looks at everyone. The previous model looked at everyone as equal. Just send the money to the university, let the students get the money. But right now, he's saying we have to look into the availability of students in the university. We have to look into their status quo. Does this, of course we know the bands, yeah? Vulnerable, needy, less needy, and all those, the 4 bands that we have in the new funding model. And so looking at it on paper, it's very nice. But then the challenge comes now when we want to implement it. In the implementation, we really need a good assessment. How do I know that this student here is very poor? How do I know that this student here is very vulnerable? So that is where we need to shape and just smoothen the edges of this new funding model. But on paper, it's really good. We just need to see, because you'll find a student who's supposed to be in band 1, finding him or herself in a different band. So a very vulnerable student is considered needy, yet that student is very vulnerable. And so again, coming from a home-based place where they are very needy, and so they cannot raise the money that is being required from their family base, and yet the government has placed them in a wrong banding. So it's very perfect on paper, but then now implementation is where we have a problem. Thank you.
So unasema vitu kwa ground ni tofauti. Sawa sawa, yes, karibu.
Maybe I'll have a very different view according with his. Personally, I'll talk on what I've interacted with some of the students, some of those who are using this model, because, for me, I used the previous one, but I believe for those who are in first year, second year, and third year, probably are the one using this funding model. Yes, you may have heard, as he said, that on paper it's perfect, but ikifika kwa ground, mambo inasumbua. But then I've interacted with quite a number of students using this model, na wengi wao wanasema hawalipi fees that much compared to us. Whether they are in band 1, wherever those bands are, if you compare the amount of money that the parent is paying to the institution, iko chini kidogo. But then now the problem with this model is the fact that it solves the problem right now. Unapewa loan most. So it means kesho umemaliza shule, you'll really have a heavy burden on you to clear the loans and everything. So maybe that's the disadvantage thing about on the model.
The funding model.
And the funding
okay, according
model.
to how I understand is, depending on you have said it is called band.
Yes.
If you are very needy, for example, what I understand is there are always 3 types of funding, right?
Yes.
Kuna ya mzazi, kuna ya scholarship ya serikali, na pia kuna help.
Na kuna loan.
Sindio? So there are 3. So
Yes.
if you are very needy,
Yes.
what the president said is, now the government will wataongeza ile ya scholarship. Which is a scholarship you don't pay. Help you pay. Hii ya mzazi ni wewe na yeye, si ndio?
Yes.
In my own understanding is what the president said, and according to the funding model is, if you are very vulnerable, for example, utapata scholarship mingi, alafu pia help kiasi, alafu downgrade. So ebu enlighten us on what you mean by utakuwa na very big burden baadaye.
Okay, the burden that I'm talking about, yes, it still goes to his point that on paper it looks perfect, or when the one who implemented, maybe the president and the Ministry of Education, and they say it looks perfect. But then, I'm using an example. There is a student, I was accessing maybe his portal sometime back, and for the last financial year, last financial year, I think he was given loan of 60,000. That was that year, and the scholarship was around 32,000. So, and I think he was in the last band, that most vulnerable. So if you use that, you'll realize that umse anapewa loan mingi kuliko the scholarship, because if the loan is 60,000 and the scholarship is 32,000, so you find that there is an imbalance. At that moment, it will solve the problem because I'm a comrade, right? So at that time, nadai clear kila kitu, school fees, my basic need shule. So because I'm getting the loan, sita feel, but then sasa what I'm saying is the future. The repercussion of us now repaying the loan, it will be kind of heavy, but it will solve the problem right now. So maybe, in my view, what the government needs to do, because we have a huge problem of unemployment in this country. So maybe what the government needs to do is to come up with a way that's going to absorb the comrades, you see? As we make education easier, as they champion the education, every now and then it's very accessible. So what are they doing to these skilled people that they've produced? So it's the part of the government also to make sure that if it's industries, whatever job creation that they think about, so that it will help these students or these comrades, once wamemaliza shule, wanakuwa absorbed almost directly, so that hata hiyo burden itakuwa kidogo reduced.
So the main problem here is implementation of what is on paper.
Yes.
So anybody else?
Okay, thank you so much. Allow me to praise my president of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto.
Okay.
His funding model is very fair. I'm not even talking about the interaction with other students or what, but I'm the experienced student who has been favored by the funding model. For example, in funding model, we have bands. And in bands, it considers the vulnerable students, extremely needy, and less needy. For the vulnerable students, they get 50% of scholarship, 29% of the help loan, and they only pay 7% for the household. I, for example, I'm just paying that 500 per semester. Am I not considered? Am I not favored? I'm favored by the funding model, and the funding model is very fair. It considered the students from different families. Let's say when we applied for this scholarship or help or this all these, there were details that we had to attach with it. And maybe you are partial orphan, you have to get more. If you are total orphan, you have to get more also. So I think funding model has favored most of the students. In this government of President Ruto, yes, you can realize that most people afford universities. Those years when I was in ECD or nursery school, you could hear that there is someone in village, score B+, but hana fees ya kwenda campus. But at this government of Ruto, kila mtu anaenda university. University is affordable. You can find someone anapata help loan ya 30,000, anaweza lipa fees ya that 500, for example, me here in University of Eldoret, yes, you can pay your fees. You can pay your bills also. So I think the funding model is very fair, and I appreciate that.
So you're one of the beneficiaries of this funding model.
Yeah.
Sawa, karibu my brother. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Bwana Chair. I think we have to be realistic. There's an author who's alikuwa anaitwa nani, Owen Duke. He once said that before you go to school, identify the problem back at home. Then you go to school, study, go back to the village, come with a possible solution, Mr. Chair. So according to the current university funding model and access to the higher education in the North Rift, yes, let us be realistic. The current university funding model, often referred to as the differentiated unit programs, isn't it?
Yes, true.
It's designed to locate resources based on the number of the students enrolled in each institution. While this model aims to ensure that the universities with a larger student population receives more funding. Are you getting me?
Yes.
It has raised a concern about equality and accessibility, particularly for students from the North Rift region. The North Rift region, which includes the counties like the Uasin Gishu, the Elgon Marakwet, Nandi, and the Trans Nzoia, has historically faced challenges in accessing higher education due to limited infrastructure, fewer institutions, and lower enrollment rates. Are you getting that point?
Yes, I am.
The differentiated unit programs may have in a reduced to per student funding for this institution, potentially worsening access to quality education for the students from these areas. I think this is the only way but hard way. Thank you so much.
Okay, before my brother from the UON, umesema inaitwa the UON.
The.
Okay, thank you so much. Umesema, I have a question. So, hii mambo ya funding model, are they funding according to the number of people, students in school, ama individually?
According to the
Yeah, according to the number? Yeah. Oh, okay. Unajua, what actually is on paper, what the president said was they are considering, the first things, they consider two things. The course that you are doing and the vulnerability or how needy you are. So I didn't know, at least you have enlightened me, but I'm going to check on it. Is it true? Kila mtu anakubaliana na hiyo? Are they giving this loan or the scholarship according to the number of students in school?
Not really. I think that was the previous model. They were giving to university according to their enrollment. But right now they're looking at students. This is individual. They come and assess you as an individual. Like she said, she's receiving that as an individual. Not everyone in her university is receiving that. And so it is an individual case.
My brother from the, wacha tu amalizie kwa sababu yeye ndio amefanya research hii mambo ya kupeana according to the number of the students in school. So unakubaliana na, is it true anakupeana kulingana na the number of schools, the number of students in a school or the how needy you are? Because actually the main thing about what was being launched was to encourage equity and not equality, which has actually transferred according to, nimeona pia just to say, nimeona pia hata vitu kama SHA. For example, a senator in this country pays 40,000 to SHA per month compared to sisi local wananchi ambayo tunalipa hadi shilingi 300. So is it true?
Yeah, it is true.
Sawa sawa, haya wapitisha kwa ndugu yangu kutoka the University of
Okay,
Nairobi.
thank you. So as for me, I think I'll second what Attorney General of the Nandi Student Association said. For this new funding model, I think it is favorable. It's not even, I'm not thinking, but I'm pretty sure that it is favorable, more so for those students from the University of Nairobi. Me personally, I used help. Na help nilikuwa nalipa, I was paying for my degree, my Bachelor of Science in Pure Statistics. I was paying 59,000 per academic year. But now, ukikuja to this one, that to this new funding model, unapata mtu kama mimi, maybe I'm coming from a humble background, na they have identified it, na right now unapata mtu analipa 18,000, 22,000, that is ukiwa band 1, of which as compared to me, mwenye nilikuwa nalipa 59,000, na ukwe maybe you have been placed to band 1, unaona utalipa 18,000 ama 20,000, that means it's somehow advantageous na inatoa hii mzigo yote. So I think I will recommend the new funding model, but now the problems comes in when we talk of kuna wale wenye walikuwa misplaced, wanawekwa band 4, maybe band 3, na I think they have to get back into their tables and drawing board and think of how they will do good assessment on how they will identify the backgrounds of the students so that they don't misplace those students into those bands. Because you recently, bado unapata there are some few cases arising whereby a student maybe from a humble background, but I think it's misinformation juu saa ingine mtu anapeana information na hiyo information baadaye ukikuja kufanya research by those tactical teams, unajua mtu anaweza upload information but anataka favor, unaona?
Yes,
So hiyo favor ndio wewe ukiupload ukitaka favor, it will impact you, na ikikuja kukuimpact, I've seen kuna information yenye umelete yenye sio fiti, of course I'll just maybe give a random, but if you give me the right information, the right everything, so it's upon us to have integrity. Yeah, we should be realistic on whatever we are giving out, because the model, I think it will just place you wherever you are supposed to be. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, so yes, my brother from Podi.
I think from my point of view, that's the TVET side. As the Kalenjin one said, Jamgele and Mabaibai Senge, for the TVETs, concerning these things of funding, for TVETs, bado ni mbaya. Even if you can listen from my brother from Lesos, what I'm suggesting we've tried our best, we've tried to engage with the help loan management.
But ukisema bado ni mbaya, what do you mean? Ni nini na nini ambayo ifanyike kama zile zinafanyika?
Unaona the funding model yenye tunatumia currently at TVETs, we are using the funding model ya university ya kitambo, umeona? Yenye wametufavor wote equally, umeona? Na then game umepata sasa in our situation, for example, mimi na apply help naambiwa I'm allocated 29,000, but then game unapata yenye inallocatiwa kwa my account ya shule is only 13,000, upkeep imetolewa. Mwana. So what you are suggesting is this: if it's possible, it would be good if we adopt the system Kaya University. You say wanatufavor tu wote equally.
Okay, maandiko umepewa 29,000 lakini unapata only 13,000.
Ndio ina.
Unajua kitambo what used to happen is ulikuwa for example anaandika umepewa 29,000 alafu anaweka boarding fee kwa account ya shule, maybe for example 13,000. Then the rest unawekewa kwa your personal account.
So what happened,
yes,
in short tu venye yetu wanachukulia TVETs,
yes,
upkeep iko different na kuna ya institution ni different, umeona? Yes. So for upkeep hiyo iko different, tunapewa 13,000, but tunapewa institution una apply, ukiingia portal during registration ya SIDAC exams, unapata that these students kwa help portal ameallocatiwa this 29, umeona? But after some time unapata the institution wanarudi, let's say ukitaka kuclear unaambiwa ile help yenye ulikuwa umeapply ulipewa 13,000 instead ya 29. Unapata sasa inakuja kutusumbua baadaye tukijaribu kuclear, ndio unakumbusha uko na deni, so unapata ina pile up inakuja to around almost 50,000 that you are not ready for.
Oh, okay.
So we are just requesting the government if possible to adopt the system ya university. Juu unaona ikaribu kabisa inatuumiza.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wacha niwaulize, walifanya public participation? Were you involved in changing this student funding model?
For TVETs?
Yes.
Yes, we were involved, but the problem, the information yenye tunapeana sana ndio tutakuja tufanya hapa public participation. True. In fact, it was done through what we call jukwaa la wasomi. The main reason why they came up with jukwaa la wasomi, at first we used what we call the jukwaa la usalama, of which it was under Murkomen, but this time they came up with the system ya jukwaa la wasomi. So these people, they did their part, wamekuja to engage the student leaders. Unajua, as a leader I have my solution, tunakuwa na discussion, tunapatiana the alternative solution, with one of the solution yenye tuli agree on ni ya system Kaya University, of which sasa mahali kuna shida ni hapa kwa implementation.
Okay, anybody who can add on that?
Okay, maybe to add on from the first, the question that you've really asked about the new funding model. And to really add on what they've said, I can say from the perspective, of course, we're talking from different perspectives. We have those who are in the universities and those who are in a polytechnic, like our brothers here. So for university, I would want to say that we have something called transparent means testing. At times when we go and apply all these things, we happen to give wrong informations. That's why the funding that we really get, it varies from one person to another. You'd always get those people who really applied for this loan and they want to still appeal for the loans. And the way you've said, Chair, it is really true, because in higher education, we're getting scholarship. Scholarship is the money that goes directly to the school. And then we have the early loan that goes to the pocket of the student, to whoever applied, because not everybody is getting this thing. There are those parents even who don't want these issues to do with loans, so they always apply only. But for university, I don't think if there's anybody who can make it without scholarship, because scholarship is a huge money that government is giving directly to a student's portal. And then we have what we call tuition fee. Tuition are the monies also that goes directly to the student portal. So the issue comes in here that when there is that transparent way of maybe placing and getting the status quo of every student, you get that the information that you gave might not be tallying with the information that the government has, or that process that is always being followed in the system of placement according to bands. So you get the system itself was meant to really help those who are vulnerable, those who are not able, differently, like they can't manage to raise those funds in university. But now the information that you've given doesn't tally with what is there in the system. Number two, where we apply all these things is within the businesses of other people. You go to a cyber, and the guy within a cyber is with the mind of really getting a lot of money. So ataona tu laini yenye imepangwa hapo, aseme wacha tu nichapishe venye huwa mimi nafanyanga hii system, wazee wanipatie do, mimi nifanye nini, nimalize kazi yangu. So we don't go deeply to seeing what they are really putting in the system. You get kuna wazee mpaka wazazi wao wengine wameuawa because of the system. Yani unaamua kukufisha mzazi mmoja for the sake of maybe gaining something. But when you come now to the real system of the government that knows everything, you remember, now if you're going even to search your name in the system, you always get your information in the internet. And then you'd ask yourself, where did they get the information? So my main issue is that wherever we are applying for this thing, because it is for our own benefit and for our own good. In fact, the system is ongoing now on matters to do with ELIPLON, and I would really want to guide those who are doing the application. The best way to go on this thing is dialing *642#. When you go there, of course, when you are learned, you'd always get all the perspectives. There's always the direction that you would always press here and there, and you get everything right. So go to *642, you're going to press that one and get the ELIPLON and scholarship the way it is supposed to be. And then number two, to all first years who are now joining to universities, I would really want to appeal to you that whenever you find yourself applying for this thing, be at hand, be there. Whenever there's somebody who is really doing you all these things, be there. And also to appeal to our government that the system is good, but when there is that appeal of the monies that somebody wants to appeal from one band to another one, let's have the swift process. Let's have the process being in a hurry so that they may get assistance. Because there are those students who are getting stranded because whenever they want to really get something to use in university, they've gone to their pockets, to their ELIPLON, so that they may satisfy the system because they don't fit to the band that they have been fit in. Because band one, you would get they are paying only 9,000 shillings for the whole year. Band two, you get they are paying almost 10,000 shillings. So I would really want to say that let's always be keen wherever we are applying for all these things. But I just want to assure you that the new funding model is good and it is so appealing to everybody.
Sawa. Yes.
Yes, Bwana Chair, permit me to clarify something about fairness of the new funding model and recommended changes.
Okay.
This high cost of the new funding model aims to promote efficiency and accountability. It has been criticized for placing a financial burden on students, especially those from low-income backgrounds. A fair model would likely to involve a combination of public funding, scholarship, and a financial aid programs to support students from the disadvantaged background. The government could also consider introducing a sliding scale of fees. Are you getting me? Based on income, as well as increasing the proportion of public funding for institutions in underprivileged regime. Additionally, transparency in how funds are located and used build trust and ensure equitable access to education.
Sawa, yeah. Wacha tuchukue ya mwisho about the students funding model, alafu tuende to the next topic. Yes, my brother.
Okay, thank you. I don't know which script this brother of mine is reading from, but what the model is actually doing is what he's recommending. When the model says we are putting students into bands, they are considering the very vulnerable students, so they'll go and assess. The only problem we are talking about is the idea that the assessment. I don't know how the students are assessed, because I could be a very orphaned student. I don't have the. They now clarify me as am I vulnerable, yet I have assets. But the model itself on paper really considers what he's recommending. It now is assessing. How do I really know that this person is vulnerable, this other one is not? But
Okay,
his
I have a
recommendation
question.
is already there.
Does the government assess, ama it is you who provide this information?
Now, what if I lie? That is now where the problem is. During the assessment, I'm able to say I'm very needy. I come from Baringo, I come from West Pokot, yet my parent is an MP or an MD here in Eldoret. So that is where the problem is. Do we really assess to the truth where there is clarification of, am I really needy? Because I could say I'm coming from Pokot, go show everything there back at home, but my parent has invested here. So I mean, the university is studying for free, and yet I'm from a well-off background.
Yeah, just to finalize on that, what is your suggestion on these matters to do about assessment?
My suggestion now should be thorough assessment. Thorough assessment should be there.
So the government agents wakuje kwa ground?
Yeah, wakuje kwa ground. Wakuje kabisa wajue niko na mbuzi ngapi, niko na nini ngapi, because Chebet wanaweza kuwa kona kondoo mingi, but ali-apply akisema hawana kitu. Kama census, you see how census is done? That should be it, because I've really met students who say, this funding model niliekwa kwa band mbaya, and yet I'm very vulnerable, or niko less needy but nimepewa kitu kidogo, niko kwa band yenye, iko vulnerable yet mi najiweza. So that is where we just have the challenge. But Dr. Ruto really did something well on paper. That funding model should really help Kenyans, and it is good for Kenyans. Just watu wake tu wafanye kazi, wa assess watu vizuri.
So in just less than a minute.
Okay, to finalize this,
Yes.
literally I think the government should practice inclusivity.
What do you mean?
They should
inclusivity?
consider the TVETs, polytechnics, because most of the comrades they are tarmacking in school.
But that
because
is
of
what
school fees.
our brother said.
So-
Walifanya jukwaa la, ulisema jukwaa la? Yes, jukwaa la wasomi.
Yeah, those who are being placed in band 5, band 6, that they should appeal. I personally
Okay.
I appealed na ikakuwa sawa.
Sawa,
So
sawa.
I think iko sawa.
Thank you so much on the funding model. We'll still have another session to discuss about this. Let's now talk about the politics and your involvement as students. Kwanza before tuende hiyo, how were you guys elected? Hakuna mtu alikuwa appointed, si ndio? Yes. Wote mlifanya campaign. How was the campaign? Mtu mmoja tu mwenye anaweza niambia? How was the campaign? No, wacha tusikie from the president of Poly. Ulifanya campaign aje? Unajua yeye ndio tuliona kulikuwa na some unfairness, ulisema kulikuwa na unfairness before.
The issue of
Yes.
unfairness kwanza ingekuwa mzuri uanze kutoa. We work.
So you were elected legally.
I was
unfairly.
elected legally.
Unajua sasa nyinyi ndio mlikuwa kwa mtandao akisema somebody was trying to rig the election.
It's not that somebody was trying to rig the election.
Yes,
Before in any election kuna constitution,
true.
and to consider the lady that's Juliet Mokeira, my
Yes.
competitor.
Yes.
Alijaribu kufanya something what is known as the issue when it affect the Eldoret National Polytechnic Politics 2026
Yes.
is that the engagement of these politicians. You get it? So unapata
So politicians were involved
politicians were totally involved
financially ama
financially.
okay.
So in the process hawa watu walikuwa involved financially. Si mbaya kusaidia mtu campaign, but the problem ni mtu unasaidia, unajaribu kusaidia mtu, but we go as per the constitution au meet vitu inaitakikana. First ulianguka. Hiyo ni kitu ya kwanza.
Wacha nikuulize swali. Do we always assess where you get your funds during campaign?
No, but you know kama uko financially stable, kuwin tu ni haraka. Unajua comrades na handouts, haina haja tudanganyane. Ukiwa na pesa ni hivyo umeenda.
Allow me to could just say something.
Yes.
There's a difference between TVET campaigns and elections with
Yes.
the university model campaigns and elections. At the university level, we do what we call delegate system, whereby delegates are elected from various schools, and then those delegates now come and elect the president and his cabinet. So for us, we really do not have their problems whereby politicians are involved and all that. Us, we also have a constitution that guides our election, whereby if I have an evidence that, for me I come from Kapseret, and so people would think, you know, Honorable Sudi amenipea kitu kidogo. Funded by the president, by the member of parliament. And so for us, even from the UOE, we were with the president. They're not allowed to be funded. Actually, they have a limit of how much they're supposed to spend on the campaigns. Just 20,000.
So wanafanya accountability ya ile umespray ground.
Yeah. And so it's different from TVET. For us, for me personally, I didn't even use one coin as handout. I just invested on posters, my manifesto, and the roadshow, whereby you just go and sell your manifesto on the public.
Hukupea mtu kitu?
Not even 1 shilling. Comrades can testify that.
Okay, sawa. Acha tusikie from UON. Unajua tuliona babu huyu alikuwa pale na we saw UON inakuanga na mambo mingi sana kwa mambo ya siasa. Tuambie tu maybe one word.
Okay, as for me, from the University of Nairobi,
yes.
What I know is hakuna kitu inashinda mirinda kwa comrade. So of course, unaona the way you are saying.
Mirinda, what do you mean?
Mirinda is there is soda. You buy them sodas. You buy them sodas. Of course, comrades sleep without food. Now, wewe ukikuja na Mirinda, you like okay, we are used to Mirinda. Mirinda is those sodas. You can't buy them sodas, and then like ni kama mobilization. Now, of course, those guys they call it like ati ni refreshment. But in real sense, I don't think I'm any refreshment. It's about buying those votes because you come, unasikia uko kwa hostel, nimekunywa Mirinda leo. Kesho na support. In fact, niko hiyo team kabisa. Juu amenikumbuka. So I think the issue yenye ni kubwa kabisa ni comrades kukosa funds. Comrades wakikosa funds, these leaders, unajua hao viongozi hao wanachukua sasa advantage. Now that I know the weakness, sinitumie hii weakness yao kuwa win. So when it comes to electing the president, the president is not doing that, but these governors of the campuses, delegates, you know this, delegates. We elect the governors, and then the governors now come to the ground, wanakuja kuomba kura, wanakuja kununua hizo manini. And then allow sasa, lakini what I know, even the president, the president anafaa bado kufacilitate our governor. Our governor wanafaa kuja kuvotia our president. So of course kama huku nipea, mimi pia usiwezi kuja kupali unipe. Siwezi kuja kupea kura yangu.
The question where you get your funding.
To get
where you get your funding. Kuna mtu anakuuliza umetoa wapi pesa?
I know. Kuna ni wewe tu mwenyewe upiga mahesabu zako venye utapata.
Sawa. Asante sana. Acha tusikie kutoka huyu jamaa wa Olesos Technical.
Yes, thank you so much, Bana Chair.
Yes.
Mine is a bit challenging. Mimi ni Mjaluo.
I know.
Right now I'm the bona fide president of the Olesos National Polytechnic. It is like an historic milestone.
Okay.
Am I lying?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, are you the first?
This for the first time.
Okay.
So mine was a bit challenging. I went through a lot, by the way. Mimi nilipigwa vita, lakini at long last, they comrade that trust me. But they I've served for 3 years in that institution. Once I was Mr. Once I was school governor. Right now I'm the current president. So that trust.
Okay.
Campaign was fire because all of the contenders wote walikuwa wakale excluding me. You know that majority. We are the minority group at the other side.
Yes.
Hatufiki hata 100.
Naona kuna mtu hapa anasema broad base ilikusaidia.
Hey, bro. This is
Anyway,
a
asante
broad-based.
sana as you continue, my brother. To those who are joining, asanteni sana for joining. Tonight we have the student leaders sharing their views and also their expectation in the 2027 general elections. So if you are joining us and you also have a question, andika tu pale. We are live on Facebook at North Rift News. Na pia we are live on YouTube at The Arena Show. Continue, my brother. Mwenye anasaidiwa na broad base.
So thank you so much. This is a broad-based government.
Yes.
And we abolish the tribalism in that institution. Right now, let me tell you that Ole Source National Polytechnic is fully operational under the new leadership of Dr. Akola and the current president, who is known as Eddie. Sahi tumenyorosha resource. There's a time that resource had a problem. Our school was marked by a concern regarding of the lack of transparency in the school. That's why we had the new principal,
Yeah,
Dr.
that's true.
Akola. I think you had the some days back.
Yes,
We went
yes.
on strike, something that kind.
Yeah,
We
true.
wanted the good leadership in that institution. And this surety, the Resource National Polytechnic is fully operational.
So are you telling the people who are watching that there is no school political instability in your school currently?
Currently,
Yes.
the school is good.
Okay.
The school is good.
Sawa sawa.
Sir.
Thank you, my brother. Acha tusikie from Koitalel.
Okay, so I think I'm one of the guy who come from, it's a different university from others. And
Yes.
I want to appreciate the diverse agenda of everybody, how they do their politics. But for Koitalel, I really appreciate that university because we really link to real world politics. Why do I say this? We do campaigns like any other person who does campaigns, who is campaigning to really get that governorship, member of parliament, MC, and whatsoever.
Yes.
You really get us going to road shows. Until there's, during my time when I was completing my bid, now that I've been elected, people are now telling us at least we now going now away from all those jam yenye ilikuwa inatokelea Mosoriot and everything, because when we now say it is roadshow, it is roadshow. And I think my political history is quite, it can become something to really tell somebody that consistency is something that really pays. Because when I first joined at university, that was first year, I went there and went for a bigger bid, that was Secretary General, because I really felt I'm equal to task. Each and every time I've always defined myself to big things, and I always say it is very possible. Because once Nelson Mandela said it may look impossible until it is done. So I went for an SG, but people are now mocking me and saying, oh, hii ni Kerere imekuleta university, nini. But I took all those being positive, because whenever you get mockeries in politics, I think there are vitamins and proteins of politics. They always enhance you and enrich you. So to live a long story, I really failed terribly during that first year, but it was on a coalition, because as we do coalition, we have parties, like how we have UDA in the government, we have the Asimio and DCP and all those. You look for the coalition. So during that time, I was in a coalition called Team Vision. I think I was now introduced to politics that was very real. And on this all politics, we use money. There is nothing that you can do without money. And there is nobody who will always go and intrude where you brought money. It's all about your sharpness and you being sharp to go for it. And who are you going to? And I really want to appreciate, because it doesn't mean that I'm now praising my university more than other universities. Each and every house has got the best way of doing things. There are those universities that is not guaranteed of using money. Second year, I went for presidency. And people are now asking, hey, why are you going for presidency? So ungerudia ile SG sasa upate, ndio ukuje sasa president labda tadia. But I was telling these guys, we need to have, I brought a system that was saying that we need now juniors to lead the school and not the senior. Okay. That juniors now knows more, and at least when they do some errors, they can easily be rectified at the system as they are ongoing on the system of leadership. But guys were telling me this is not how we do things. But I just chose not to listen from them and really went also for politics. And I used also money during those days. We did road shows, we did banners, we did posters and everything. And people are now telling me you're now going to the point of Raila system. 3-0. They were telling me now you're going to fail everything terribly. And they were telling me now you're going to be the Raila of Koitalel Samoei University. I hope when they're watching, they can really testify this. So during that time, we were competing with a certain guy called Ellington Kemoli, and he really beaten me terribly. And because we would easily be asked about tribal issues, I really want to say tribal issues begins with the onset of us doing politics there at university, because you'd always go for the highest numbers in the university, like who are the many. So I really noticed that what made me to lose once again for this presidency was because I was more tribal. I would easily tell that only challenges can make you to be the president of university. And like my brother now was voted in because of the broad-based government. So I failed also terribly for the second time for this presidency. And now during that year, I was now sharp. Instead of criticizing the government and becoming now ule jamaa wanasemanga ni opposition wa government, I now went to this guy and chini ya maji namwambia tu, how did you did until you really won against me? And then number two, I have now in mind that this one hii yenye naomba second year, it was really, ilikuwa ni kama watu walikuwa wanaona ni kama sasa huyu jamaa amefanya nini. Umayona ile yenye unajikaangia fita we mwenyewe, because I was the one advising this guy to go for presidency during second year.
Okay.
Advising him all through. And then towards the last, I'm the one to fight the guy. So he won. But now during third year is when now we came with this guy, and then I told him we now really want to do a broad base where you would recently engage me in the politics, teach me on how to go, and we do these things together. And I believe when I'm going to win, it's also the win for everybody. So I brought everybody in, that was the Kisi and every other tribe that was within the school, to this now broad-based thing, and we really won. From that, them coming together with me, they really championed with me, they buy the manifesto that I was selling to them, they work all through all those roadshows, supporting me in terms of financial, guiding me in every step that I really do, and at the end of it all, I emerged the winner. So I really want to thank the system of university, and I really want to say that politics start from the onset go, whereby you've really identified yourself to be mature. And from our institution, let's embrace the culture of building leaders from the onset go. At least when they come outside here, they know what is supposed to be done, and they understand what is the meaning of leadership. Thank you.
Now that you are talking about understanding what is the meaning of leadership, kuna mtu anavaa hapa in the national politics? Okay, we have seen a good number of people, a good number of the young people, especially the members of, kuna viti tatu ambaye tumeona vijana wameweza kujituma. MP, women rep na MCAs. So what do you think actually is motivating these young people to join the national politics?
Thank you.
Yes.
Before maybe I answer your question, let me just touch on what Gidi was saying.
Yes.
Gidi is a person who started his politics from first year. He went for top seats. Karibu apate jina Raila, and I hope that's not a bad name. Baba did some very commendable work in this country. The democracy we're enjoying today is part of his work. And now the issue that he talked about is the alliances and the coalition. We're not saying that alliances are bad and doing those coalitions are bad, but then you realize that we are the university students. So within ourselves, bado tunasema, why don't I bring in, let's say, we are the Kuna Kisi tribe, the Luya, the Kalenjin, but we are still the students who are saying we want to see a better Kenya. But somehow, tunajipata tunasema, okay, for me to win, I have to do a coalition with the Luyas, with the Kisis, with the Luos, so that I win. So I think we are learning, or rather we are just emulating what's happening at the national level. Right now, the political landscape that we are witnessing in Kenya, maybe for 2022, the way we voted, and probably the way we are going to vote in 2027 are going to be very different. You know the coalition that we have, that is the UDA, Kenya Kwanza thing. So kulikuwa, tuseme Mount Kenya voted for Dr. William Ruto na Kalenjin at that time. But unaona, along the way, whatever happened, the impeachment, kuna effects. That's where one term and two term came in.
But again, we also had the demonstration by the Gen Zs, led by the Gen Zs actually, ambaye ilikuwa haikuwa tribal, ilikuwa collectively against one goal. So do you think that going forward to 2027, will there be, will politics of 2027 be tribal ama itakuwa united?
You know, in politics, there is always division. And I'll give you this example.
So that's why I'm asking you, do you think it will be division with the alignment of tribal, or itakuwa division with the alignment of ideas?
it won't, I don't think if it will be ideologies, it will be tribal. Why? Tunaona watu wanaanza kujipanga saizi. For example, the Kenya Kwanza government or UDA are coming together with ODM through broad-based, right? So you automatically know UDA is Kalenjin party, ODM is a Luo party.
But ODM we have two categories. Yes, wacha tusikie kutoka huyu jamaa wa
let me just wrap up.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to say is that bado kuna division based on tribe in Kenya, and that's a fact, whether we like it or not. So maybe it's upon us, the young people, tuanzie campus, tuache kujialign na tribes. Ndo Gideon win, I can't prove, but I know alikuwa na coalition na Waluya, alikuwa na coalition na Wakisii, na the fact that alilose akiwa first year na second year, nijua kwa tribalist. So he had to be tribalist, even though hakuwa anapenda. So my urge to us young people, maybe let's be aligned to ideologies rather than tribes. Thank you.
Sasa kwa dakika moja tu.
Okay, thank you. I think what we are trying to do as a government right now through Dr. William Ruto is break out of this tribal politics. The reason we had the impeachment was because of that. We had Rigathi impeached because of tribal lines. And so Dr. William Ruto, if you actually study his politics, he's running away from that. Because if he was looking for numbers tribolically, he wasn't going for Professor Kindiki. Because to be honest, there are no votes in his tribe as compared to other tribes. And so you see President Ruto is trying to paint a picture whereby Kenya Kwanza is for all people and it's for everyone. Thank you.
But Kindiki is a representation of Mount Kenya.
But when you're looking at numbers, really, if you actually go back kwa ground,
yes,
Kikuyus will say, sisi si wa Meru. Meru people are different. Mount Kenya is purely Kikuyu. If you actually go to the ground. And so you're seeing, okay, I give it to Dr. Ruto, he's very smart. You know, Mount Kenya is still, you know, the whole thing, but then go back to the ground, it's very different.
Just to ask you one question, my brother. Are we saying the impeachment was because of a tribal lines, ama the coalition? Unajua pia, the impeachment was a result of two people disagreeing, right? But now we are terming it as a tribal. It just happened that the people who disagreed was a Kalenjin and a Kikuyu.
Now, you again, let me go back to what you said.
Yes.
If it was a tribe and a tribe, then Kindiki wouldn't have come into place. Now, if it was tribe and tribe, if it was not tribal, we would have gotten another Kikuyu there. So what we are saying is, the reason this specific individual was impeached was because he ran along shares. Sisi kama Murima tunataka this, and sisi kama Wakale na Murima ndo government ndo yetu. And that is what agitated the House, plus the president, and that caused the impeachment.
Sawa, let us take your word for that, kwa sababu sasa we cannot really prove if that is really the cause of that. I think the reason
I think I'll recommend go and listen to the chief whip, majority chief whip. What is his name in the House? Ichugwa. He has an interview where he has explained that critically on what really happened. It was based on tribal lines where the former DP was trying to work on.
Let me give you another example. This is a family example. Wewe sasa tuseme for example umeoa na mkosana bibi ya kupiga usiku. Do you know you cannot come and say bibi alinipiga usiku? Utakuja kusema labda piki chakula vizuri or something like that. So we cannot really actually prove what caused the disagreement. Anyway, moving forward to nimeona Faith as a word.
Okay, you're asking on how we won the campus politics. And campus politics is very real to the national politics, let me tell you today.
Okay.
I personally, I started my politics when I was in first year. There's a girl who was in third year and introduced to politics in campus. Akaniambia just, anaitwa Jacqueline Cheli. Akaniambia just vie for class rep association, Barkausa family. I vied and I won. The second year, I vied for Congress School of Education. Na hapo nikaanza sasa kuketi chini. I strategize my politics. I had the strategists, I had the bloggers, I had the planners, I had the mobilizers, I had watu wanatafuta funds. So campus politics is very real. Mimi nilisapotiwa na association supported me. When it comes to tribe, also tribe can boost you mahali. So association supported me, but I personally niliomba kura moja kwa moja mpaka kila mtu akanijua kwa School of Education. When you just ask Faith Ngetunyu utaambiwa huyo msichana aliomba kura. So mimi sikupita tu kwa sababu nililipa watu ama nini. Mimi nilifanya mobilization. I went to hostels, I went to plot huko nje, Gomo mzima kuomba kura.
Sawa. Now with your effort of kuomba kura vile ulikuwa unajituma, are you already aligning yourself with any political leader, any political aspirant or any political party in the country?
Yeah, sure. In national politics, I'm supporting my candidate, that is Rebi Chepchumba Sebei, for women representative. Anatoka Tiati constituency, Tangul Bay ward. Na msupport,
Which
na naona
county?
nimemsupport. Baringo County.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Na watu wa Baringo naomba kura ya Rebi Chepchumba Sebei kindly. Let's support Rebi and support Faith, support Rebi. So in campus politics requires funds. I personally, I can't fear to say I was supported by my MP, that is Super MP, Honorable Ruben Kiborek. And also MCA Eldamaravin ward, that is Lawi Kiplagat. And also someone from Nairobi, that is Robert Stone. What will in support? I paid my strategists, I paid my chief campaigners, I paid my mobilizers, even goons. Niliwalipa. Yeah. Wezi expect nikwe best Congress, alafu tu nitembee siku nimewin tu hivi. I had nikwe na gari, nikwe na watu wananichunga, nimelala vizuri. So you see?
Just wacha tu nikuulize swali. Ukisema goons unamaanisha?
Namaanisha watu wananichunga. I can't call them bodyguards, you see? Naita tu goons kwa sababu wananichunga nisikuwe abducted maybe. Okay, I appreciate those Nandi men walisimama na mimi, kina Mayo, kina Eli, all of them. You know those guys. So walisimama na mimi wakanichunga after nimewin kwa sababu huko we had two coalitions. We had DM, that is Democratic, and Comrade Kwanza movement. I was in Comrade Kwanza movement, my coalition never won. That was Komen team. But the other team ili win. Sometimes maybe the other team ikiweza kuwa na less congresses, mnaweza kuwa mnakuja kudanganywa, maybe uende vote kwingine. So mimi nishukuru sana kwa kuchungwa.
Sawa, asante sana mtu wa goons, umesema walikuwa wachungwa na goons. Okay, do you believe young people and the students have influence in the national politics? Yes, my brother.
Oh, first ulitoka kwa point ukienda another one. Kitu yenye nafaa to agree, I think kila mtu hapa ata agree. Kila university, kila TVETs iko na culture yao ya siasa. Hiyo ni agreement. For example, unaona ukikuja poli, una vitu hatuwezi debate kwanza.
Kama
kichwa unajua inakuja wapi. Ya hakuna kudebate kwanza, ya hakuna kitu tuna debate. Hiyo ni culture so hatuwezi elewa, but unaona for polytechnic, for my government iko na cabinet ya 13, but colleges ni only 2. So unaona ndio maneuver kwa campaign ya polytechnic, huyu mwingine atalia, but what I did personally, watu wenye wameniinua kwanza ni watu wa association the Nandi men, tukashikana ka North Rift, tukashikana ka South Rift.
So your politics ya poli ni tribal?
Sama mimi nitasema tu ni tribal. Jadi ukisema haina haja tudanganya. Hadi Ruto leo akisema, for example, ukiangalia na ideologies ama ukienda na tribalism, gani ndio utakuwa na numbers? Tuongee ukweli.
It depends.
Hadi ukuze na ideology gani bado tutapigana. Lakini hadi ukiona tu venye Ruto iko, angalia mahali numbers iko. Siasa tu ni
unajua sasa, the reason I'm saying it depends kwa sababu pale 2024 mali tulikuwa na demonstration, it was based on ideology. People came united against the finance bill, especially the young people. And talking about that, maybe tunaweza uliza, what is the influence of the young people in the national politics? Kwa sababu nimeona wengi wenu mnatoka Nandi, and the statistics says around 60% to 70% of the young people did not participate in voting pale Nandi County. So do you think the young people have influence in national politics?
Okay, from where is it now? According to my point of view, venye naona from the Nandi County, hapa Wajdo kata witness na mtu wa Nandi County.
Yes.
This time tuko na influence because ukijaribu kuona statistics yenye imetolewa, naona the number yenye increase watu wenye wameregister ni watu from wengi ni youths. Mahali the problem ndio unaona the politician na watu focus na sisi. Unajua kitu yenye ina determine siasa ya Nandi who is going to be the next leader ni nomination ya UDA, na utapata watu wengi bado the youths hawajaregister mambo na party. So unapata kuna venye wanaona hii party, unajua hadi ukianguka ukipita na UDA huko mbele hakuna kitu tuna debate. So I think kitu yenye iko sahi baada hatujakuwa na ile influence ya kutosha, the thing yenye inafaa to focus on, my suggestion is that to focus kwanza na party registration ndio tuweze kuelect our leaders. Juu unajua UDA ndio inamwoneva watu Nandi County.
Wewe mwenyewe uko kadi?
Mimi niko kadi na I'm a registered member of United Democratic Alliance.
Sawa sawa, acha tusikie jamaa wa UN. Do you think the young people have influence in the national politics?
Yeah, as for me, I think the young youths, I think they have for now, because right now we are seeing, I think hii kitu ya is from square impeachment tu venye ilitokea nini vijana wamekuwa champions right now. Unasikia like youths ndio wanashika nini, wanaenda maandamano, ni juu ya wameanza kuwa civic. And I will praise again education system, because if were it not for the education system to maybe pump us with knowledge and everything, so that we are now ahead of knowing what our decision at the ballot is the one that determines our future. We have been seeing our leaders that we elected. Mimi mwenyewe nilikuwa kadi from last 2022. Huko ndio niliingia kadi, sio sahi, but niko kadi bado hata sahi. Hiyo ndio weapon yangu pale. Na what I'll urge is, let us all the youths tuchukue kadi. Of course we are the influencers. Hata wewe ukiona sahi, the only people wenye wanatumika sana kwa hii maandamano ni vijana. So of course we have influence. That's what I can say. And again, nilikuwa nasikia watu walikuwa nasema sijui nini broad base sijui nini. I think hiyo kitu haifai kutumika kwa campus. Kama mkuje UN has got good structure of leadership nini, roles hapo kwa nini, in mkuje benchmarking hapo unapata you cannot have a team in UN. Mnakuja na team yenu, hiyo team wanaangalia if all the regions are represented. You cannot just come with a team yenye, yani hauwezi kuja usema ati juu sisi ni wakale acha tuform yetu, juu sisi ni majority tusiingize wale wengine.
Yes, unajua what actually broad based meant was ni kama sasa me and somebody else vies, ama we are vying maybe mkoa 4, for example nyinyi mkoa 4. Ikifika hapo mbele mnaona wewe ukienda peke yako utatoboa, ule akienda peke yake hatatoboa. Now you form the coalition. So it was not based actually on the tribal lines. Anyway, to finalize on that, acha tupate mtu mmoja atuambie, do you think the young people have influence in the current politics?
Let me add on that.
Yes.
Not even young people, but the leaders from university direct to the national politics. They clearly bring the impact to the national politics by supporting the aspirants or watu wenye wako kwa set sahi. As for example, the strategies we are just using in campus ni ile tu tunakuja kumwambia aspirant pale nje, unafanya hivi, you are doing this and this and this na utapita. I did this and this na nitapita. Me, I can just sit down and strategize politics ya mtu na guarantee atapita. We bring impact. Comrades are always right. Mimi nikipanga siasa lazima apite.
So
na kwanza all aspirants now wakitaka siasa watatafuta comrade. In fact, comrades are very influential. Yeah.
Actually what people say is like my brother has said, most of the young people are being used. Na mfikangi pale kwa kamba. Like I have said, for example, Nandi County, the analysis that we received was 60% to 70% of the young people did not participate in the national elections. So that's why I'm asking you, and also to finalize on that, maybe mnaweza tuniambia, what impact do you bring apart from now what strategy, what my sister said kuhusu strategy, what other impact do you bring to the national politics?
To answer that,
yes.
The impact that we bring to the national politics as student leaders, probably, of course, we are not leading hewa, tunaongoza watu, wanafunzi. They are over 18 years. So for example, I have a very small group in my ward called Kiptuya Ward Students Association. And one of the things that we aspire to do is the civic education. That is to make sure that at least all our members wako kadi. And now, of course, when it comes to political ideologies, we all have different ideologies. Where I come from is, let me say, metropolitan. In as far as Ninandi, Kiptuya ward is adjacent to Vihiga. So we have guys from Vihiga County to our ward. So si automatic mtu wa UD atapata kura kwetu, hapana. So currently even the MC of my area, I think, okay, ako broad-based, so he was vying using ANC, so it's okay. But 2013, wherever aqua the government side. So the influence that will bring to the national politics is civic education. I make sure that all my students, all the people that are under me, wako kadi, and then now they'll decide. I can't decide for them that now let's vote for this person. But then somehow, at least, tukishapata your numbers, the change that you want, we will definitely get all the way from the member of county assembly to the president. Even a very important thing is my constituency, that is Chesumei constituency. We've been having a very, tuseme siasa ya Chesumei ni interesting. Hakuna mtu kutoka I think 2017, hakuna mtu amaipewa kura mara mbili. Dr. Wilson Kogo came for one term, he went. We have the incumbent, Paul Biego Polo. But of course he's defending his seat. But ground is hostile. That's a fact. Ukifika ground unaulizwa, what has he done? Watu wanasema hatujaona na.
In your own view, unaona aje?
In my own view,
yes.
Okay, compared to maybe the first MP and the current one.
No, not in comparison. In your own view, unaona amfanya maendeleo?
In my view, personally, I haven't seen. So maybe it will, as the president has said, it can be a one-term MP, depending. So maybe for the people from Chesumei, they may consider, if they have to take what I'll tell them, another aspirant, maybe, preferably, we have people who have track records, for example, the speaker, I'll give you, the speaker of the County Assembly in Nandi, Cheriot Meli, is also an aspirant and he has some good track record. So he may be
yes,
the next MP. Thank you.
I just in less than 1 minute before we move to the next.
As the president of Chesumei, one of the best universities in Chesumei, enyewe ground ni hostile. To date, bado hatujajua nani tuta support from the comrade section. Now, you asked a very good question, the influence of youth leaders or student leaders in the national politics. Now, Kenya was born in 1964. Kenya was born again in 2024. Now, you can't say 2022 youth were not involved. We saw what the youth could do in 2024. So going forward to 2027, it's a different story. We've seen our peers, Jacob Fikirini, now trying to reach out to the youth. Something that had been, the National Youth Council was dead for around over 10 years. Now he's reviving it. He just gazetted it and he's saying, guys should go and vibe. Because they now know the influence of young people in our politics. And so to answer you, Kolo, youth watakuwa na a very big influence come 2027. If you see what is brawling, even JKL that was there the previous week, on Tuesday, it was something very serious. Now you're seeing that mali tunaelekea, lazima vijana to step up, lazima tukue kadi, na lazima tujue tutasupport nani. Thank you.
Yeah, just in less than 1 minute, my brother.
Okay, so thank you for the question you've asked about the students actually in terms of politics and everything. So I'd really want to say that how he has said that Kenya, we going to a point whereby we really need to really own these students and maybe every youth. Because one, youths now act as a perspective of shaping the public opinions and everything because we get they are civilized and they understand what is supposed to be taken. But the problem now, most of the youths and most of the students are taken just as voters. I would really want to urge the government that why don't we take youths to be partners? Because they are the guys who can really add up in terms of policy making. They are the guys who can come on a round table and really make precise decisions that are really eminent for our nation to grow.
Yes.
Yeah, so my point is that they are very important in terms of issues to do with politics, and now that our nation is now at the point of experiencing politics and everything, I really want to urge the government that let's take these civilized students, let's take these civilized youths to ensure that they are becoming partners. They are the ones to come on a round table to easily make decisions and to be a part and parcel of those who are making the policies. And number two, all youths that are really watching, wherever, or the students, the first thing that we really need to do is actually register as voters. And actually also we need to engage constructively with policy issues. And also in digital platforms, you find that they are used, that they are really dominating in digital platforms. And they are the ones who are controlling. When you go to Facebook, Instagrams, TikToks, and wherever, they are really advocating for many issues. You will find those who are into TikTok, they are digital creators and everything. So we'd also tell them that as much as you're doing digital creation, you can also be the ambassadors of peace and be ambassadors of really determining or really making change in terms of how we're supposed to be doing our politics. And I think by so doing, we are going to change the strategy of how politics are being done in our nation. Thank you.
Okay, as we finalize, do you think, do you believe the North Rift region is getting fair representation in the national government in terms of leadership? Kwa wale viongozi ambao tuko nao North Rift, do you think we are getting the representation in the national politics?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Not even thinking, but we are sure. Some of Senate seats, MP seats, MCS seats now in this government, they are youth. For example, Mogoti.
For example, Faith, who do you look up to politically?
Pardon?
Who is your role model politically?
My role model politically is my Senator Chemitei and
Okay.
Honorable Kiborek.
Okay.
They are youth, but they are leading. They are vibrant. They have led. Also, the impact that the youths bring to the government is that most of the youths nowadays are vying for various seats. Come University of Eldoret, you find a third-year student vying in certain ward or certain constituency for MP or maybe for an MCA. We have many of the students here. So the impact they are bringing is that most of other youths, they'll vote for their youth. And simply youth will lead. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Now we are targeting the North Rift.
Yes, for example.
According to, as per my view,
Yes.
we are getting a good representation, except from some of our regions. That's the people from the Great Nandi. Chamgele nege magat kenyigisi jerobinga. Lakini from where we say, as once President once said in a burial, mipse bunget. So for me, other regions in North Rift are well represented, but for Nandi, we don't see anything. Totally, we don't see anything. Especially people from Mgen, I think we are the one suffering. So for me, I feel like in our region, one term.
Eddie, let's hear from Eddie. Do you think the people from your region are well represented in the National Assembly?
Okay, thank you so much, Bwana Chair. According to the Kenya Constitution, under Article 55,
Yes.
it mandates that state ensures youth participate social and economic spheres.
Yes.
Is it true?
Yeah,
And
it's
let me tell you, there's this professor, anaitwa P.L. Limomba, once said that when the people do not know the government they create is nothing but a confederacy of fools. Let us elect the leaders that will represent us.
Yes.
Si wenye wataenda matanga na waanze vurugo. That's my few remarks. Yeah.
Where do you come from?
I come from the Migori County, Miuru Bay, Nyatike constituency.
Okay. Sawa. Mtu anaweza the final remark from there. Mtu mwenye akona anything to add on that?
They said
Yes.
maybe it has not been so much, but our current PS, Fikirini Jacobs, is really working hard to see that the youth from even the northern region are being represented at the national government through the National Youth Council. We're actually heading towards election that will be done, I'm not sure when, but the Gazette is out and people are being told to register for the election and the nomination of the 8 council members. So I think our government is really pushing for perfect representation, not only of the northern part of Rift, but also countrywide. Thank you.
Let me add on what he said. Actually, it's just a clarity. Yes, you said PS Fikirini is pushing towards youth involvement, and I saw the Gazette on elections of National Youth Council. It was supposed to be done on 5th of July, and I'm sure you know the date of today. They gave us a press statement on postponement until further notice. There was no date, and then a After that, what happened, we saw my former president at Catholic University of East Africa, Ms. Frida Kemunto. Her and her team sworn themselves in. So currently, as we speak, we have a president of National Youth Council, Ms. Frida Kemunto. But then they were, according to that system and according to that Gazette statement they had given, it was to start from the ward levels, constituency level, all the way to the national level. But then, sijui what happened along the way, hizi hapa chini hazikufanywa. So maybe my question, or rather my question to the National Youth Council at large, is that when are they going to have an organized system? When are they going to have to give us the dates, and when are they going to give us the timelines on when we are supposed maybe to register as voters of the same, and when are they going to open maybe for aspirants, so that we get to start engaging in that? Because automatically this system or National Youth Council itself, it will influence in a way the next year's elections. So if youths, as at now, we have something that has been in the Constitution since 2012. Okay. To date, we are in 2026, and it's haikuwa operational. So it means the governments that have been there all the way is a joke that sisi kama vijana tutatumiwa tu kupiga kura. Tutatumiwa kupiga kura leo because tuko wengi, to pay handouts because maybe you are vulnerable, you don't have jobs, you don't have money. Somebody comes, gives you 5,000, 10,000 because you are a president. Go tell your comrades this and this and this.
That is why you are saying, musikubali kutumika.
Yes.
Hata mkipewa zile pesa, wewe pigia kura yule mtu ambaye unaona ataleta reforms in your own, area. And just to finalize on, because of time, if you are given 5 minutes with the president or the cabinet secretary for education, what is that one important message that you will tell the president or the cabinet secretary for education as a student or as a young person?
Thank you so much on that question. If I have 5 minutes with the president or the cabinet secretary for education, is that let's use youths as partners. Let's see youths or student leaders as partners. Let them not see us as voting blocks, because we can be involved in policy making and all the changes. Let us feel
the message that you'll tell him. What is that message?
The message that I'll tell them is that,
assuming, like somebody had said on our comment section, kuna mtu alisema, if for example, uzipate kwa lift na president ama the cabinet secretary, utamwambia nini kwa niaba ya vijana ama kwa niaba ya wanafunzi?
Kwa niaba ya vijana na kwa niaba ya wanafunzi, venye tu nilikuwa nimesema, let's partner together towards change.
Thank you. Wacha tusikie from my brother.
5 minutes with Dr. Ruto, nitamwambia kwanza congratulations, you're really doing something good with the funding model. Yeah. But sasa sukuma watu wakuje kwa ground. As he's saying, let's partner. To partner vizuri, alete internship. We really need internship at the university level, so that we don't go looking for internship outside, but companies are coming to the university to pick points all the students that are needed for internship. So tukipartner at that level, tutakuwa pia tunasaidia comrades, because he's really doing a good job. Today he launched the Nyota phase 2, and he's helping those who have not really gotten to the level that others have gotten. And so pia nafaa kuja level ya university na asaidia wale wako university by partnering with us. Thank you.
But as student leaders pia nyinyi ndio mnafaa kuwa mnaambia wengine kuhusu projects like Nyota. Like today tumekuwa pale sports club na tuliona the president aliweza kupeana around 120 million to the young people from Nandi County, Elgeyo Marakwet and Uasin Gishu. It was the 3 counties. So nyinyi kama students ndio mnafaa kuwa mna-emphasize on this.
Pale university actually tunaumia. Hiyo Nyota sana sana wanamulika watu wajasoma. If you actually study it, wanamulika wale wako kwa ground, wale hawakufika kuendelea na masomo yao past form 4. And so Nyota si ya university really, but we appreciate how he's helping them. But tunasema pia to create a way of kukuja university. He needs to come to the university, atulete tu makampuni, even government internship. Akuje tu atuchukulie wanafunzi from the university level. Wasiende kutama for internship ndio wapate kazi kama venye wanafanya sahihi. Yeah.
So are you also aware that kulikuwa na portal ya people to apply when wanataka internship kwa serikali?
Yes, kuna hiyo portal. Yes. But sasa hiyo portal ndio sasa sisi tunaitafuta sana. Some of these students are not really aware about how to go about. Alafu watu wa cyber pia unajua. As somebody had mentioned, au wanapoteza watu wengi. So we need hiyo, unaona devolution ikuje mpaka kwa university. The way we had said about the funding model, akuje tu mpaka pale kwa ground, ajue situation ya kila mtu. So even the internship, watume makampuni, not only the portal, because pia hiyo ina displace watu sana.
Sawa, before we move to the brother from Koitalel, just a clarification on mambo ya nyota, kwa sababu was there today. They don't actually see who you are. Kwa sababu pale, people are applying randomly. We had even somebody was saying, ako university, I think alikuwa amesema ako Poli ama alisema ako wapi, na anauza mayai. People are receiving 22,000 shillings just because of una apply to star 254 hash and you proceed with the procedure. At the end of it, unapata zile pesa. Nobody sees if you are learned as long as you are below the age of 29.
No, you actually, you have the internet here. Ukiingia Nyota funding, iko na qualifications. There's a whole list of qualifications. And one of them, maybe sasa awali, we really do not know how that thing happens from your university level. But sisi tukiingia kwa portal ya Nyota, tunakuwa tu disqualified. Because tushakuwa qualified kukua university students. Yeah. So sisi ni help. So sisi na help na the new funding model, which we say asanti sana. But sasa kwa biashara tunaumia. Yeah.
Sawa, kwa hii mambo ya Nyota, just to have a clarification, brother from Poli, tuko na simu, dial star 254 hash. Nataka kuona mali na niulize kama niko na help.
Let me say something on that.
Yes.
Nyota. Yes, the first time when you're applying, itakuuliza maswali, like inakuuliza maswali ya kujibu level of education. Na one of the qualification ilikuwa level of education yako imefika wapi. So kama ungekuwa campus and above, haungepata. But then I don't know how that system was made. I know many comrades who are beneficiaries of Nyota. So that to say you can lie. So they lied that they have not gone. So okay. For example, I'm doing I lied.
That is the problem.
Listen. So listen what happened, right? Sasa hiyo time ulikuwa labda from your region mulikuwa wengi. Maybe from your region mulikuwa wengi. But there are some regions, there are comrades wenye walipata, but then ukiuliza the application process at first, haiwezi kuwa kwa hiyo star 254 right now. But at first, ilikuwa inakuuliza requirements. And then mulikuwa mnaitwa, was it training, verification. So mkienda verification, your area chief asks you, wewe ulifika wapi, ulifika. Ukimwambia ulifika campus, be sure uwezi pata, uwezi enda training.
Yeah, I agree with you. Maybe the first phase had that, but hii ya pili, unaenda tu hustler, 254 inakupea options hapo. Unaenda Nyota project, for example. Sasa unajua the government has it works kama Fuliza, for example. But the only eligibility that they see is your age bracket. Kwa sababu, kama vile nawaambia, we had pale watu ambao walitoa ushuhuda, unless pia how they lied. Anyway, let's just move to the next, our brother from Koitalel. Tuko tumefika Koitalel. You have 5 minutes with the president or the cabinet secretary for education. As a young person, what will you tell him?
Okay, so as a young person and also being a leader, what I will just tell President is to actually first give a word of appreciation to President for the new funding model. Say thank you, Mr. President, for really seeing the fate of those who are really vulnerable within our society, and having also the part of your manifesto being to empower everybody in terms of academic growth and everything. We really want to appreciate that. But my appeal to you also is that let's have a permanent stay of those who are part and parcel of those who are giving, or the organization of funding model. Being in these institutions, having a permanent stay there where students can go, assess, and also they would always guide students on what is supposed to be done. Number 2, Mr. President, is to also really plead with you that within our institutions and wherever we are, we're still requesting that as far as institutions are concerned, and being the institution being important to our communities, we really still believe that may you continue advancing much in our institutions in terms of its security, like for Mosori at Koitalel Samo University, I'm speaking on behalf of Koitalel. we still require a number of street lights because it's guiding the university for those residents who are living outside and they are part of the students, and even it's going to also to champion to our community. And last but not least, is also champion on issues to do with, we're really requesting, if Mr. President, under your permission, we've seen you building houses, affordable houses to our Kenya, and it's really becoming beautiful to our nation. We would also still request, because you're really championing and you've really shown the interest of really being at the shoe of those who are less vulnerable, we really request that continue going even to this institution and building these houses for the sake of our students getting accommodation, that they can't struggle and their parents would always pay some fee and have their good stay in school and not going to mjengos rather than going to their classes, because we find comrades going to mjengo for them to earn a living, and they spend much of their time going for mjengo rather than going to class. So we really want to appeal to you that kindly, if it is possible, build us also these houses, ensure that there is that accountability whenever you send funds so that we may get all this infrastructure, and we really appreciate. Thank you so much.
Asante. Yes.
What I'm going to tell the current president of the Republic of Kenya, that's Dr. William Samoei Ruto, a man of 2 terms, we are all in agreement. So my first, I'm going to say thanks for the fee reduction that was currently done on TVETs, and then I'm going to address on the issue of the SIDAC registration. If possible, we are requesting that we come and adopt the system that they had adopted in our high school, where you can access your results through the NEC portal. If it's possible, it will be good if we do it so to our SIDAC, we access it through the portal. Then on another thing, we are requesting if possible, we have the government have partnership with our institution, because what is affecting currently Eldoret Pole is the issue of insecurity around the Langas region. So the best way I'm suggesting is possible we have the affordable houses inside the school compound. I think it will help us reduce the insecurity issues, because we're having more students watakuwa wanaishi ndani, na if possible tukaribia tena hapo kwa SHA, tujaribu tupige partnership, na I think itakuwa sawa. Thank you.
Okay, alen kanyamwane ngale engote kamwachi president ale chigongo yen funding model nekikoneche kiko afford tugul kwa university, kila mtu ameenda university. Also, another thing is I'm challenge president to consider the student leaders from North Rift, kwa sababu achek chigitechega. Kesho hata wewe ulianza ukiwa student na umefikia hapo presidential, asa support the leaders from North Rift, especially the student leaders. Another thing Kenya naweza mwambia is that akuje University of Eldoret to atujenge more lecture halls and laboratories, and also to add some schools. Maybe School of Nursing, ongeze facilities na tujenge School of Nursing. Another thing is just to consider other institutions like TVETs, polytechnics, kwa sababu pia hao ni comrades. Yeah, they have to be boosted. Wakuje pia nao wakuwe kama kila mtu. Wasikue tagged pale campus. Funding model yao ikuwe reduced so that they can afford to pay their school fees. I think that is all.
Okay, thank you so much. We have many requests. First, I would like our able president, Dr. William Ruto, akuje mpaka Lesos. Hiyo ni request yangu. We have many issues. Vitu mingi tujafanya hapo Lesos. Mambo ya insecurities, we need the street lights at the Lesos due to the rampant theft. The second thing I would like to request our able president, we are left behind actually at Miuru Bay. They talk about the tarmac road from the Masara to Miuru Bay. We are left out. Hatujaona mpaka sahi. So another thing also, we would also like to have the fish cages at the Miuru Bay, because that is our economic activity as Luos from the other region. Second to that, third to that, We would like to Dr. William Samuel Ruto arudishe ile free education ile ya Kibaki. Yeah, thank you so much.
Free education ya Kibaki kwa nafikiria primary school ni free.
Yeah? Yeah, right now because of the mambo ya CBC. Hiyo kitu wanafunzi the parents are complaining about that thing is very expensive, so that at least arudishe ile ya kitambo. Si tuseme maybe mzazi ako na mwanafunzi university, mwingine ako college, lakini utapata mwenye ako huko kwa primary anatumia pesa mingi kutafuta hizo mambo ya I don't know what projects.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. One thing I'll tell Mr. President is that thank you so much for the new funding model. That is actually it is good because it has gone a long way in assisting those vulnerable students because we are now gone from equality to equity. So, Mr. President, that is commendable. The second thing, Mr. President, I'll request is Pale University of Nairobi, I think we still have a issue with accommodation. Accommodation is still a big problem. We still pay large sum of money to just for accommodation. And again, you know, life about Nairobi is quite expensive. But so at least if we consider restructuring on the accommodation fee, at least so that as we are struggling with the day-to-day life being expensive, at least we pay something small on accommodation. And again, also, Mr. President, I will request that you support these initiatives where our youths are coming up with, like the NYC, whereby recently we have seen our youths our youths have started gaining their own superiority in terms of power, but now we lack the support because recently we saw the NYC elections being cancelled, being postponed. So I don't know, Mr. President, if you can assist us in supporting that thing and making it at least come into reality. And then another thing is about the RYLN. Okay, another thing I'll request that these students, at least when our president will support you guys, at least let us be accountable, because you can see some of the associations are being rolled out now, but the only problem that is now making it fall is the accountability, as ourselves being accountable, because you can imagine you have been assisted, the association is now stable, but now when it comes to you being questioned about accountability, you now failed. So at least in as much as our government will be supporting us youths, we should also be accountable to ourselves and be integrity. So thank you so much.
Sawa asanteni sana. Thank you so much for also joining us for this great debate. Actually, when we had the idea of bringing you on board to have a discussion with you, we had thought about also including a panelist. And the suggestion was maybe we bring maybe 2-3 politicians so that they can guide you. Unfortunately, most of the politicians were student leaders in school, starting from the likes of Cherargei, Timothy from Elgeyo Marakwet. There were student leaders, even Murkomen. So we also have a suggestion of maybe we are having a show like this, maybe each and every month, so that we can have maybe once in a while, but now we include people that you can engage who are in the national politics. So I don't know, what is your take on that? What is your suggestion?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Collins. I think that is recommendable, because at least we will be getting somebody that he has direct access to maybe those places that where he can go. He knows exactly where he will take that information to, and that information to get acted on. So I think that will be commendable, and we will turn up for that, and we will support it.
Sawa, niliona kulikuwa na jambo.
Okay, my view is different. I agree with your point,
yes.
But before we continue, we are all in agreement that we are approaching political season, and what should be done is more about civic education. From last month, we had a session in University of Eldoret with the ORPP, that's the Registrar of Political Parties. So my idea was this: if possible, it will be good if you bring these people on board, because what I learned that is that mukiona hizi maagenda hizi mavitu zote, mali inaanza kuwa implementiwa ni kwa UDA. Hadi leo ukiregister as a pass sasa unasimama under UDA. Hiyo UDA ishakupatia vitu utakuja yani manifesto zako. So the thing yenye iko iwa encourage, it will be good mwambia our youth ni mzuri wajue kwanza mali venye tutaanza ku actively participate kwa politics ni mambo ya to join political parties na to engage actively hapo juu. Walisema the risk that is going to emerge venye RPP wamejaribu analyze in the coming future is that there will be no youth representation in these political parties. And then on another issue, mali inaingilia youth representation nafika hii mali Senate wananominate hivi unapata wananominate watu wakubwa. Najua hadi sika youth tungekuwa na sauti ndani ya UD unapata tunasema tunataka hiyo tunapewa award. And then another issue yenye walikuwa wamesema in the future there will be zero consideration of the youth policies. Juu unapata on the drawing board wa kiketi ya party there is no youth mwenye ana to represent. So my idea is this, as we involve politicians, kuna different stakeholders like RPP or registers of political parties, ingekuwa mzuri tuwa engage watufunze watueleze vizuri, ndio itafanya nini civic education mzuri watu wajue muhimu wa hii political parties. That's my point of view. Thank you.
Sawa, thank you so much. Yes, Faith.
Okay, Collins, I think you are very clear on there to invite them, and we should find someone who can coordinate them to come. They must to be here. For now, I'm pulling Baringo, yote, na University of Eldoret. Na hakuna mtu mwenye atani support. We should be having even a politician from Baringo County and maybe Uasin Gishu County representing University of Eldoret with me. Maybe an aspirant in University of Eldoret, a lecturer, or maybe a resident mwenye anaishi hapo. They should be coming here so that they can listen to us na tuwape direction na hata pia hao watupe direction. And it is good to invite those who are student leaders in universities or maybe high schools so that they can easily be impressed by the other fellow students. Kwa sababu wanatufungulia, they give us networks na wanatuonyesha even vile kunaenda. You can easily find someone akikuwa sponsored. You see? Maybe anaweza sponsor niende nimfanyie campaigns ama nimfanyie nini strategies, something like that. So I think they should be here. And next time, just plan it. The next panel, you should plan them to be here.
So to hear from our brother.
Okay, so first and foremost, to appreciate No Thrift News for having us here today. And number two, thank you so much, Kolo, because you really have a good motive that you really want us to grow in terms of leadership, not only as being leadership in leadership now, but also growing. We've lived in this world to celebrate the glory of others. Why am I saying that? In essence, whereby we have generation going and coming, we happen to have gaps because there are those people who are not mentored to really fit into the gaps. Number one, I really believe that this time round, it is now time for the age set of our able president, that is Dr. William Samoei Ruto, to shine. Come the second generation, we'll have other leaders who, like the essence of Kina MP Kiborek, Kina Osoro, and others who are now the member of parliament, they would shine, taking up the position of presidency. But if they are not going to mentor us and really hold us towards the same, we're not going to have leaders of tomorrow. So we want to appreciate the plan that you have, bringing those leaders on board. Number two, I believe having them on board, they would really help us so that they may guide us on how to always raise our issues, on how to tackle issues when they come. Of course, they must have undergone a lot of political pressure, and they know how they would stand. The likes of Gerard Gay, you've always been seeing him as one of the prominent leaders, who when he stands up, people will always want to hear what he's going to say today. And we'd always want to follow up the steps that he's really having and emulate up the way he's doing things. And we're not going to get that if we're not going to get the concept on how we always do this. So the first thing on how to handle the political pressure and actually have the way out in terms of leadership, it is until having them on board. And last but not least is this. We've always lived in a point of dreaming that one day, one time, are we going to really have ourselves in that position to being like those people? One day, one time, people saying that we have Gideon Kosgei as the MP of Tinderet, where I come from. Or one day, one time, people saying Gideon is the governor of Nandi County or president of this Republic of Kenya, because I believe every dream is valid. So we're not going to have that if at all we don't have mentors. And possibly, we really want them by all means. So next time, I'll not cease not to come to that session because I know it's going to be interesting now that I've really get. And thank you, No Thrift News. Continue really empowering leaders. We really appreciate, we don't take this for granted. And whenever you're going to call us, I would always show up at my own capacity. Thank you so much.
Asante sana.
Thank you, Kolo, for this privilege that you've given us to have this platform to air out issues on campus leadership. But again, yes, we require mentorship. For me, I come from the great sub-county of Kapseret, and I would be pleased to have His Excellency Honorable Sudi seated next to me akituonyesha engineering of how to manage this political space of Kenya. And so I would appreciate if we would have them be with us, because kale engine material. And so them being the material we have, would really appreciate if they are with us as we maneuver. Now, to finish, we are actually forming associations. If you could look at the political space of Kenya, the student leadership is forming associations. Like I know of an individual called William Cheruyot from Baraton, who is forming an association called RUSA, Rift Valley United Student Association. These are things that we require. This brings you students not only from university, but to the level of TVETs and even postgraduates. People who are still, as long as he or she is a student, these people are being brought together under RUSA so that we can see how to be mentored into the spaces. Because most of us, unamaliza campus as a president, alafu hauna future.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
We are looking at a place in RUSA how we can still mentor that person who was elected in campus to become something, maybe MCA, maybe the National Youth Council, as we've talked about. These are things we are looking into, and we need leaders in such platforms or to support. Thank you so much.
So.
Thank you, Kolo, and the entire team for having us here today. And to your suggestion is that we are welcoming it. Gimagalenzi ngole kitcheze uleteze material, ako material ni chako. The likes of kina Cherargei, kina Sudi, kina Kotimoza, all of them. So we would like to have them here. Nikiwa hapa kando, tuko pamoja nao, and I think it will be a very good initiative. And as my brother said, also our politicians, they are our leaders. Apart from them being our politicians, they are our leaders. They should give us waweze kutusikiza. We have association. For example, we have where I come from, we have the Nandi Students Associations. Nandi at large, we have each constituency have its own association. Even at my ward level, we have Kiptuya Ward Students Association. So for our leaders, we urge them to hear us and partner with us, because there are a lot that we can really help them and help us. Thank you.
Sawa, asanteni sana on behalf of North Rift News Media. Pia mimi ningependa kuwashukuru sana for turning up for this discussion. Nimejua kumbe student leaders pia tuko na mambo mingi, especially in terms of the national politics. Unajua sasa we are heading to 2027 politics. And there are a lot of expectation, especially from the young people. So asanteni sana for coming tonight, and sure, we will still call you again. We are hoping on the next discussion that we'll be having, we will have a politician or maybe one or two, pia waweze kuwa encourage na pia kuwa motivate, kwa sababu you are the people the nation is looking up to. Kwa sababu sasa the next leadership ni watu kama nyinyi. Kama vile my brother amesema, unapata after mtu umekuwa student leader alafu kidogo unapotea, unapotelea reserve. Your ambition and political career inaishia campus, which is not a good thing. So we are looking forward to having you again. So asanteni sana to our viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Remember, we always have our shows on Monday at 8 p.m. But this was special kind of a show, kwa sababu we had student leaders, and sure we are going to call them maybe even individually or maybe two wakuje pia to discuss na sisi. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to our next interview, which will be on Monday. We'll also post to the person we'll be interviewing. So our amazing team, thank you so much, and have a great night. Unataka kutuma salamu? Sawa, unaweza tuma salamu tukiendelea kufunga.
As the majority has demanded concerning the greetings,
Yes.
First, let me give out this issue about tunaangalia the future politics.
Yes.
And what our focus is this. Seti tutakaa hivyo na tungoje these politicians watutafute. So my suggestion, if it will be possible at, let's say, county level, let's say Kabaringo, Uasin Gishu, Nandi, hivyo tuwakuwe na their own student association. Like for me, I'm planning, I've met with various politicians who are willing to support. I'm launching something, a chapter known as Nandi Comrade Leadership Chapter. Nandi Comrades Leadership Chapter.
Okay.
And in short, NCLC. This is a chapter whereby I'm trying to let all the student leaders to go in a session with our leaders. Unajua kwa county, sisi tuko proud tuko na chief of staff. At least these people were to mentor venye future kutakuwa. So my suggestion venye North Rift mnaweza tusaidia. Unajua hadi leo nikiongea hapa kuna venye mmenicreate jina huko nje, uficho nimeshukuru sana. So my suggestion ikisaidia mnaweza enda hadi tu county level juu kuna venye mambo tunaona huko mbele na hadi tupange and then tukuje pamoja tunaelekea wakati wa kingpinship. Sasa siasa North Rift haina haja tudanganyane, tunaongelea mambo ya 2 terms tai kudanganya. Sasa tunaangalia different leaders wanajaribu kwa position of kingpinship, na for example hii kitu tunaona msipofanya civic education mapema italeta problem. Kukaangalia watu wenye wameparticipate kwa RYLN, there is a chapter known as RYLN, mtu Rift Valley Youth Leadership Network launch Nairobi, but hii kitu ilikuwa na kitu poa kutusaidia, but ili happen sasa mambo na integrity ilikuja ikaanza, watu wakakuja ku overuse kwa over sharp boys hapo. So ni mzuri tukuje tuongelee vizuri hapo mambo ya kingpinship. Other salamu yangu nataka itume to the Great Nandi County, and just to clear the issue, there is an issue walikuwa wamesema I'm going for the member of county assembly, that's the Great Kilibwani ward. Acha tu ni clear kabisa, I'm not coming for MCA, but 2032 I'm coming for MP. The main reason, nilipatana na wazee akaniambia yeye kijana tuko iminingi kangia vitu nseret yota ukabwati ala wager seret yot komie intareteta Mungu 2032 tutapanga mambo ya mgwena. Asanteni sana.
Okay, thank you so much North Rift for inviting us. Mimi sikuwa najua, I just received a call on Monday that we are required to be here on Friday, na mimi nika respond positively. Thank you so much. Salamu zangu nataka nipeane kwa University of Eldoret na wasalimia nyinyi nyote. Thank you for voting Faith Ngetuny. Thank you for electing me as your leader. Salamu zingine to entire Baringo County, all constituencies, all wards, and my home Kelega Village, Kisanana Ward, Mogotio constituency. Pia nasalimia marafiki zangu, my financial supporters, my aspirants na wasalimia, my girls wenye tunaishi nao kwa TP, kina Jackie, Janito, Chepkor, my neighbors in Mogotio na wasalimia sana. Nasalimia MP wangu Honorable Kiborek, nasalimia Senator Chemitei, nasalimia Rebi Chepchumba Sebei na entire Baringo. Thank you so much. Na nasalimia pia my Nandi friends. And thank you everyone.
So in short, tunasalamia tu kila mtu. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Sawa, uko na salamu pia? Okay.
Okay, juu imekuwa tu ni I will also send greetings. So mine will be precise. I would want to use in a group of let me start with Moi Girls Eldoret, where I teach. Moi Girls Eldoret here is where I teach currently. Those who are watching, I want to say thumbs up, guys. Let's keep on with the energy, the positive energy that we always have. I want to send greetings to my able principal there at Koitalel Samoei University, Professor Winston Akal, and the entire university for making me to be the president. And send greetings also back home to all parents of mine, my daddy and mommy, and my siblings. Wherever you're watching, Kinatito, all of you, I just want to say receive greetings. An entire part of Nandi, receive greetings. And also to clear my air, 2027, I'm not coming for an MCA. 2032, let's meet for an MP.
Sawa, thank you. Maybe tu uanze kusema as the president of, as the representative of, unaanza tu na cheo yako alafu unaendelea. Kwa ufupi sana.
Thank you. As the president of the University of Eastern Africa Baraton, the first chartered university in Kenya, I want to say thank you for this chance you've given us to be here today, Kolo and the team. And so I just also want to thank the Baraton comrades for electing me as their president, and with the slogan, Awaken Baraton Again. And we promise that Baraton is going to arise. Baraton is actually an international university, so tukiwa hapa, I'm representing the international community as well. So utaona kizungu ni mingi kidogo. So we are here to say we are awakening Baraton again together with Team UPA, our senators, and our comrades back at Baraton. And so finally, we say thank you also to the comrades at Kapseret. And since everyone anasema hapa, I talked about our engineer, His Excellency Sudi. Ngito go bito aseret ya 2032. I'm actually a pilot by profession, those who didn't know. And we are saying we will awaken Eldoret International Airport to be an airport that will take Eldoret to the international level. So 2032, after Sudi Ameni handover, we are going there and we are taking Eldoret and Rift Valley to greater heights. Thank you very much.
Asante sana.
Thank you so much. Godfrey Kipkemei, law student, currently the Nandi Student Association Attorney General. And my greetings goes directly to my parents and my siblings, wherever they are watching right now, to the great people of Nandi County, Chesumei constituency, and also my home, Kiptuya Ward. My greetings goes to them, and also maybe because my colleagues have said, for personally, I'm not going to come for any seat at home or member of parliament or wherever, but what I'm saying is that we have Cheriot Meli, Speaker of Nandi County Assembly,
Thank you, thank you. Yes, award, my brother.
Yes, thank you so much, Chair. As the bona fide school president of the Elosus National Polytechnic, my greetings goes to the entire school, to our able principal, Dr. Hakola. We are confident enough with your leadership, our school will continue to grow and thrive in positive and constructive manner. My also greetings goes to the family, the entire family of Tobias Warento, former councillor, Miuru Ward. Another greetings goes to my beloved sister, who is in Dubai right now. Much privilege to be part of this academia team. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. As the University of Nairobi Congress and the Chepkumia Ward representative and Nandi Students Association, I want to pass my greetings to Chepkumia Ward in large. I know when I say Hillary Kiplagat, I know you will not know me, but this is Chepkumia Watchdog. Receive my greetings, and I'll continue championing accountability, because you send me into that institution, University of Nairobi, to go there, not to just sleep, but to work and come back to come and champion your resources. Thank you.
Okay, there's someone watching me live. Wacha nimsalimie. Dan, hi, nakusalimia. Let's support Rebi and Angelo.
Sawa. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for the great time that we have had. That has been our time. Have a good night, and you again next time.